Bellator MMA live on DAZN from the fabulous forum. The time has come for the main event of the evening. Five-minute rounds for the Bellator Featherweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, Commissioner John Carvelli, Chair at Cageside, Executive Officer Mr. Andy Foster. And now, first introducing the blue corner. At 5'8", weighing in 143.8 pounds in her quest for an unprecedented fourth featherweight world title. Tonight, she makes her Bellator debut, bringing an impressive 21 professional victories with just 2 defeats. From Curitiba, Brazil, presenting the challenger, Cris Cyborg. And across the cage, the champion fights out of the red corner. At 5'8", weighing in 144.5 pounds, undefeated inside the Bellator cage. Tonight, in her 4th title defense, she stands with 13 professional victories, just 2 losses. From Port Moody, British Columbia, Canada, the defending Bellator Featherweight World Champion, Julia the Jewel. In charge of the action, your referee, Mike Beltran.
Let's go, ladies, bring it in. All right, ladies, been over the rules already. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves now if you want. At the sound of the bell, come on out, handle your business. Let's go.
5th straight title fight for Julia Budd. 12 of the last 16 fights for Cris Cyborg have been world title fights. This one's scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds.
Round. Ready to fight? Ready to fight? Hell, let's go.
Here we go. Cyborg in the blue gloves, Budd in the red gloves. To the body early.
Bad move by Julia. You saw Cris push her towards the cage, and right away Julia gets the clinch, turns her into the cage. This is where she needs to be.
This is what Ilima-Lei McFarland was talking about. Lean on her early, put her in the clinch, make her work, try to wear her down. And when you talk about a physical matchup, Julia Budd matches up physically, Josh, with Cris Cyborg, maybe as well as anybody she's ever faced.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I just feel like John and I have been talking about this for weeks now. This is where she wins the fight. Sure, maybe it won't be the most exciting fight, but when you're fighting the GOAT, okay, this is the type of things that you need to do. Control the pace, control the distance. Make sure you don't get hit shots with shots like that.
And make sure you don't take the knee on the way out, right?
Nice exit by Cris, and beautiful short takedown. Being on the bottom is not a good thing for Julia. She doesn't have that bottom game where she's real dangerous. She is a top game fighter.
Cris Cyborg, believe it or not, has never won by submission. They're back up.
How often do you see someone just pop up like that? That's the physical size of Julia Budd, able to get back to her feet against Cyborg.
It was very impressive when you think about how she did that.
This is where Julia Budd needs to keep the fight high up on the underhook, against the fence, doing work, knee in the leg, slowing Cyborg down. Don't try to force the takedown.
All of this time, to me, this is what we talked about, Josh. This is important for Julia because every second that she's in there with Cris, she'll get more and more confident. Yes, I'm the champion. She's the one that everyone's saying is the GOAT. I need to prove to myself I can be in this fight. I am better than her. And every second that she's in there, she's telling herself more and more, yes, this is mine.
I asked her, win, lose, or draw, would your career have been complete if you did not have a fight against Cris Cyborg? She said, no way. She's had goals that have nothing to do with the belt, but those goals have led her to become a world champion. Now she faces arguably the greatest of all time in Cris Cyborg.
And this type of fight right here, this is a grueling type of fight. All of this clinch work, both women are working very hard to get an advantage, to get their hand in the right place so they can land those knees. This is a grueling style of fight.
The title holder for nearly 3 years, Julia Budd, 3 minutes into this fight.
Cris landed a very nice knee to the body there.
Big right hand though by Julia. She stepped in.
The slip by Cyborg after the kick.
Or that triangle. She's got to get that other hand inside, and she needs to pull her arm out. Get the head out.
It is not in a position right now where she's in trouble. That has got a lot of space, but Julia needs to be careful. That posturing of the head would be very important right now. Going for the arm.
She needs to stack her. She needs to keep her stacked. Nice shrug of the head.
Beautiful job by Julia. Remain calm. Slides to the side.
Nice job on the crossface, keeping her back flat to the mat.
Yeah, she needs to get that hip down.
She's a switcher hips actually towards her legs.
Yep.
Stay and face her. Chest down. See, the problem is for a lot of people is they stay up on their knees. They need to just lay flat, put their hips over their face.
Good gopher.
Julia Budd continues to apply pressure. The knee.
She was trying to knee the shoulder. She may have touched the head, but that was not something she was trying to knee the head of a grounded fighter.
You can't be kneeing the
I'm
head.
not saying that it didn't touch.
You cannot be kneeing the head. All right, Cyborg, are you okay? Yes? Okay, come on over here, guys. Let's go.
Head absolutely,
Right on the button,
absolutely
John.
fine, right on the button.
Chris shakes it off. The fight continues.
Like it's nothing.
Yep.
Gotta love Cris Cyborg. She's just here to fight.
And she comes out swinging after that. Heavy leg kick. 45 seconds left in round 1.
Oh,
She fires away.
Big right hand by Cris. This is where Cris becomes very dangerous. On top, she is explosive.
Julia Budd needs to control the posture of Cris Cyborg right here.
She's doing that. She's doing a good job. Nice and relaxed.
20 seconds left in the round, so she just really honestly, well, she's done a good job in this round. She's maybe try to create a little bit of space, try to get her back to the fence, or she can just hold for the rest of the round.
Well, she has done a good job, but she just took a shot to put her on her butt.
The up kick from Julia Budd. Some hammer fists from Cyborg. Round 1 in the books. Set for the start of round number 2. You talk about superstars and legends. Marlos Kunin. Cyborg fought her twice. Julia Budd defeated Marlos Kunin to become the inaugural Bellator featherweight world champion. Big John, who gets round 1?
No, it was a very close round, but there were some things that happened in that, and I give Cris Cyborg round 1, 10-9.
And she comes out extremely aggressive here at the beginning of round number 2.
Nice job going behind. Julia tried to get that Uchimata. Did not work. Cris slipped right behind her.
Take a look at the striking efficiency in round number 1.
And that's the difference. That's why Cris Cyborg won that round 10-9 on my scorecard. She just landed the better shots overall. But again, this is not a sprint. It can be that marathon, and you get into the 5th round, all that work that Julia's trying to do, that will add up.
Cris Cyborg scheduled for 5 rounds, 13 times. Julia scheduled for 5 rounds, 4 times. Beginning with that title fight, of course, that we talked about with Marlos Kunin. Rarely have either of them gone the full 25.
Julia getting opened up a little bit as far as her hands are starting to flail off the side. She needs to be careful.
In big fights like this, sometimes what you'll see, and especially in a 5-round fight, you'll see the fighters come out, you'll see one of them kind of have an adrenaline dump. And if you saw that in the 1st round, now we're seeing a little bit of the 2nd round with Julia Budd. If she, I think, can get to the 3rd round, she'll catch that 2nd win. End of the 2nd, into the 3rd is generally when you guys start to catch your 2nd win.
Julia Budd, the only woman to defeat Gina Carano in kickboxing. Cyborg's win over Gina Carano put Cris on the map.
Physically, both women are so strong. It's just remarkable to see some of the things they're doing. And you see how they're putting their arms, bracing out, framing out like Julia just did, and Cris just crushes it.
Julia's worried too much a little bit about the striking when she should be worried about getting an underhook and elevating it and turning her Cyborg to the fence. And now what she needs to do, there she goes. She needs to circle her back off the fence so she doesn't end up there again. Start trying to circle back to the center so she can put Cyborg's back to the fence. She's breathing pretty heavy right now. You see her mouth is open.
Both of them are breathing kind of heavy. I think it is. There's so much pressure. There is an adrenaline dump. And you've got to get through that.
That's a nice little push kick there. That's it. To me, I feel like that's a better use of her tools against Cyborg. Keeps her further away, so there's less chance of her closing that distance and landing a big punch.
Julia's making a mistake. That arm is getting up around the head instead of shooting for that underhook.
That's the strength there of Julia Budd. Cyborg tried to take her down. The champ trying to work in the clinch. 90 seconds on the clock here, round number 2.
You see Ed Root there in her corner trying to whisper her and tell her to lift the underhook.
Exactly. Let him hold the head, get that underhook. That's going to get your position.
What's Yaroslav Amosov saying?
Try to understand it's Russian.
Up with the knee, head shanks up, watch your hip drop.
And what you're seeing, Cris is starting to win the positioning war. You're seeing Julia having mistakes as far as bringing her hand up high over the head. She needs to always work towards getting that underhook. That's what's going to work for her.
Good shots from Cyborg. Couple of knees from that clinch position. Under a minute on the clock here. Fight scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Featherweight title on the line.
What I don't like, what I'm seeing right now is there's a little tell every time Julia's going to throw. She lifts that lead leg before she does anything. It's a tell that she's going to do something, so that gives Cyborg a chance to take a step back and get out of range.
A decade ago,
there it is again.
Julia Budd said, I was a kickboxer with no grappling, no wrestling, no other martial arts experience. Both of these women have complete games, shooting for the takedown right on cue.
Nice on that snatch single. What she needs to do, she needs to pull her away and step behind or get her feet moving.
Another good knee from Cris Cyborg, John.
Nice response. You see that Cris not only fought off the takedown, but left her with the reminder of you don't want to do that.
Saying you have got to believe in yourself. Big John, your scorecard.
Scorecard at this point, I have Cris Cyborg up 2 rounds to nothing. Not that Julia's not in the fight, but Cris is winning those rounds.
The first round was close. I felt like the illegal knee ended up causing and ruining her flow in that first round.
If that illegal knee didn't happen, it's very possible she could have won that round.
Yeah, because then she got taken down after that, and this looks bad, I think, in the judgment. It was that close in the first round. Second round, I had her losing as well.
One of the things you were talking about, Mike, is her husband, Lance Gibson. I did hear Julia's title fight against Marloes Cohen, and he had to be a cheerleader throughout that entire fight because in certain ways, even though she was winning the fight, she just didn't believe that she could beat Marloes, that pioneer of MMA. And she's got to get past the mystique of Cris Cyborg here tonight to get this win.
Well, he just played very mean, angry cheerleader a moment ago.
He knows her.
Yes, he does. Better than anyone. Stepson Lance Jr., also a Bellator fighter, in Julia's corner tonight.
That's what the underhook does. You get the underhook, and look at how she turns her onto the fence.
I'd like to see Julia start putting her forehead up underneath Cris Cyborg and lifting and elevating it up, making her look to the ceiling and the lights. What that does, that stretches the body out and then opens up the knees to the body as well.
Lance Jr. told us with all the training with his stepmom that, and I quote, she basically ripped my arm off. And she is that strong. And looks to have Josh regained her composure and maybe some momentum after that adrenaline dump that you talked about.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is a huge stage. Huge. Doesn't matter who it is.
Both women.
Yeah, for both women. For Cyborg, it's her first fight in Bellator. You want to perform. You want show that the money you signed for is the money that you deserve. I was in that position in several organizations, so I understand the emotions she's going through. For Julia Budd, she wants to prove that she can beat the GOAT. To me, there's no doubt. Cyborg is that person that the mystique is true. You step in the cage with her, you're thinking to yourself, man, I'm in the cage with Cyborg. This is not Cyborg. I have to say it again, Cyborg. So all she had to do is, as John was saying, as the fight goes on, she should be gaining more and more confidence. That's all her husband was trying to remind her.
That's exactly it. Do you believe in yourself or not?
Well,
it's mental at this point.
One of the hardest things, if you're Cris Cyborg, is you're always that one with the target. And Julia Budd being the champion, she had that target on her with every other person. Now she finally had to have someone that she could put a target on. Putting it on, Cris Cyborg saying, I'm going to prove that I can beat you. That's something that's good for your motivation in the fight.
Close guard. Under 2 minutes left in round 3.
What she needs to do is put her feet on the hips. She doesn't want to be underneath her like this. She's got to put the feet on the hips and kick her back. Get up from there. You cannot afford to hang out with your hands behind your head like she's doing right now. I hate seeing fighters do that. It drives me absolutely crazy because that's a jiu-jitsu move. You see top jiu-jitsu guys sometimes do that like, I'm so good on the bottom, I don't have to worry about you passing my guard. In the meantime, she just missed her punch and she has missed her opportunity to get back to her feet.
And she just passed her guard.
Yes.
Right into side control. Good spot for Cris Cyborg. Bad spot for Julia Budd with a lot of time remaining here in round 3.
Cris kind of got her head stuck a little bit and just got it out. Side control here. Nice body attack by Cris.
Both women have only been defeated twice in their professional careers. Cris Cyborg in her professional debut 14 plus years ago, and then to Amanda Nunes.
You see that grittiness of Cris Cyborg. She's putting her hand over her face. She's making sure she's restricting her breathing. She's driving her forehead across her forearm across her mouth and her jaw and her nose. She's letting her know that she's in a fight every moment of this fight. And we saw from the highlights in between rounds 2 and 3. Every time on the break, you're not just gonna break from me, I'm gonna let you just walk away. No, I'm gonna make you pay on the way out. And that's just the experience of Cris Cyborg.
Julia Budd was finished by Amanda Nunes in her second professional fight. Last seconds of this round, big ground and pound from Cyborg.
You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Hey, let's go.
The champ in the red gloves, the challenger in the blue gloves. Cyborg's corner, and John, I'm sure you agree, says she is up 3-love.
No doubt up 3-love. I'd give it a 10-8 round at the end because Julia Budd was in a bad position, taking shots, was being dominated, got damaged. Give her 10-8.
Her husband Lance said, do not kick. And what is she? Her first 2 kicks, her first 2 punches, strikes is kicks.
Yeah.
Fingers.
Julia Budd needs to keep that belief. That mentality that she can come back in this fight. And at this point, to win, finish Cris Cyborg, who has landed 101 punches through 3 rounds.
Basically doubling what Julia's been able to put out. Nice chop to behind.
There's some more. Look at that.
He's in trouble on this one.
And the knees, more hands.
He is in trouble, Mike.
Big trouble.
Big shot again.
This is the Cyborg that we have watched.
That body shot hurt.
And it is all over. Cris Cyborg. It's the Bellator featherweight world champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end officially. 1 minute, 14 seconds into round number 4. The winner by TKO, and now the new Bellator featherweight world champion, Cris Cyborg.
Ladies and and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Cris Cyborg. Cris, that was a fantastic performance. You, in the round just before, you got on top, you mounted, you did damage. In that last round, you went to the body, you went to the head, you kicked, and that last body shot put her down. Talk to me about being a 4-time champion.
You know, and I say thank you for everyone coming here, Cyborg Nation. And I say thank you, God, for having this opportunity. God's so amazing. I lose my belt here at the forum, and He bringing me back here from God again. He's amazing. I wish the best for you guys, and I feel very happy. I trained really hard for this title. I respect Julia. She's tough, long time undefeated. I want to say thank you for my team. I did my camp in South Africa. Hello for Brazil, and man, I'm really happy, thankful.
You looked fantastic in this fight. It was obvious how much training you had done. Tell me what you want next.
You know, I would like Scott make one Grand Prix. Grand Prix is my dream. One my dream fight one more time a day, like a shooter box style when it happens in Japan.
Well, you were fighting shoot box style there at the end, just going for broke, going after her. But you fought really smart, and you took your time. What's the difference that you see in yourself as a fighter just in a year's time?
You know, I think experience, every step happened in my career, I learned something. And it changed my game, be part of the team in South Africa, a lot of young kids there, and teach me every day, motivate me, and I'm really happy. This is a new era. I'm very happy to be with Bellator champion. You're gonna make different things.
I want to tell you that was an unbelievable performance. Congratulations on your 4th world title. Ladies and gentlemen, Cris Cyborg. You put on a fantastic performance. You have been an incredible champion here at Bellator. You've defended the belt multiple times. I know you're disappointed in the outcome, but you proved yourself here tonight. You did. How are you feeling?
I'm so disappointed.
I can understand.
Yeah, it's hard.
When you were at the very beginning of this fight and you were putting her against the cage and you were trying to rough her up, was that the game plan, just to wear her out?
Yeah, totally. And then start using my strikes, and it just wasn't my night. So I'll be back stronger, but congrats to Cris and her team.
I just want to tell you, you have represented the featherweight division, being the inaugural champion, the only champion. Congratulations on being such a wonderful fighter. Ladies and gentlemen, Julia Budd.